Offensive philosophy, which this is the Achilles heel of the team right now. Um, is it the right formula for what we got going on right now, Sutton?
Well, I mean, we talked about that identity word earlier in the show, and I think that the offense is still struggling to find their identity and their identity within what they're working with right now. And what I mean by that is with a banged up Lamar Jackson. For so long, this Ravens team identity for the past 7-8 years has been, okay, Lamar Jackson, save us with your legs, right? Save us with your legs when you can. The fact that he can't do that now and is kind of exposing certain schemes and especially our offensive line, I think that there does need to be a little bit of a pivot towards maybe a little relying on some other skill players out of the backfield, aka Keaton Mitchell. I definitely want. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to make a video about Keaton Mitchell and why I believe he needs a lot more snaps than he gets. Because right now, I mean, we're running Derrick Henry into an offensive line. I mean, when he's in the backfield, he's getting the ball 90% of the time. Defenses know that they can just crash out whatever run concepts we're trying to run, whether it's zone, whether it's power, whatever it is, duo. They are crashing down on Derrick Henry's run. They're flying up the field. So I do feel like an adjustment needs to be made offense philosophy wise. I'm not exactly sure what that would look like other than maybe getting Keaton Mitchell more involved, going to the quick game a little bit more often with Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson, he could still throw that rock. I was looking at some of the film, man, and he didn't have a ton of completions, but the ones that he did have, especially that one to Zay against zone coverage over the middle, amazing throw, beautiful throw, looked off the linebacker and all that. So, with Lamar not being healthy right now, dealing with basically head, shoulders, knees, and toes, whatever it is now at this point, right? Like, I think you do kind of have to adjust the game plan a little bit and kind of get the ball into other skilled players' hands and see if they can kind of get us some of these big chunk plays. Because that's something we're not getting right now. We're not getting a whole lot of big chunk plays, right? It's not coming from Derrick Henry. He's only averaging, 3-something yards a carry. That was last game. But other than that, we're really not getting a whole lot. And like you said, it's predicated off of that offensive line. And philosophy-wise, is the last thing I'll say. I think it would be wise, and John Harbaugh has hinted at this, to maybe consider a change at one of the guard spots. And I'm thinking it'll probably be the left guard before the right guard, much to most of the Ravens flock chagrin, right? But I think that could be definitely an option as well, changing up the guard spots.
Yeah, I think the left guard worse anyway. But Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I would love to see that happen. I mean, it's and for the people who are like, well, we don't know what these guys on the bench are like. True, we do not know, but we know what the guys on the field are like. So if we have young guys on the bench, a third round pick who had high pedigree coming out of LSU, let's see what we have in him. This is going back to last season where they had Makari starting, and it's like, hey, let's see what we have in Andrew Vorhees. Like, they were doing that little because Vorhees won the job, then he got hurt, then they just stuck Makari there, and it's like, yeah, let's see what we have in Vorhees. And now you come into this season and you're like, yeah, we're going to rely on Vorhees. And then when you get into the season, you see that Vorhees ain't shit. And it's going to be the same thing next year because you got one guard that's going to be gone. Well, we'll see. One guard that's a free agent, a center that's a free agent. So what do we have in Emry Jones? Like, let's see what we have in this dude because it's not like 72 is playing well. So just put him out there. Let's see what we got in the third round pick. That's high draft capital. That's a premium draft pick. 1 to 3, that's premium draft capital. So let's see what we have there. Um, and as far as just the offense, I've been saying it since the year started. Deception is your best friend. Let this is not the line it up. You know what we're gonna do. They know what we're gonna do. You can't have that kind of offense because we don't have the offensive line to do that. This is not 2019 anymore. You have to be deceptive with it. You have to have some kind of trickery in your game. I'm not talking about flea flickers, but you have to have motion. You have to have these, have the defense swaying one way. That is going to be your best friend with this type of offensive line that you have. And we see it when teams crash down and you use the play action. We see how stuff just opens up for them in the pass game. And that would help your offensive line. That'll help your run game. That'll help Lamar. It'll help everybody. But we haven't seen it be consistently implemented in a full game just yet. As far as these last few weeks since Lamar has come back.
Jose?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything Chris and Sutton said. This needs to migrate over to a more balanced offense. In fact, more short passes, get the ball out quicker, screen passes, play action. Like those three elements need to be a lot more present in the offense, because handing the ball off to Derrick Henry, they know, like Sutton said, he's going to crash down on Derrick Henry. They know Lamar's not running the ball. That's a wasted play. But if it's a play action, that at least makes them think about it a little differently, right? Offensive line, I want to see what Emry Jones can do, Carson Vincent. I want to see what these guys can do. But I think the solution for this season is go on the street, get some veterans, right? Whoever's out there, they're not going to be good. I'm not saying they're going to be good players, but some guys that have experience that at least know when I'm in the game, I gotta make sure I can't let somebody just roam free. I gotta hit somebody. I'm not just standing there looking around, right? The problem with Falele and Vorhees is more than just their skills, their ability. They don't know what they're doing, right? A veteran has some basic knowledge, some experience to know, okay, I need to at least hit somebody here. I might need to hold somebody here. You know, they may not play well, but they'll play a lot better than what those two are doing. And we just need to get better than what they're doing right now for our offense to get going.
I'll piggyback off of what you said. If you had veteran guards and they know that what Warhop is teaching is bogus, those guys wouldn't mind bucking the system. They go do what they know works. But when you got young guys that ain't really been through nothing, did nothing, had much success, they just gonna keep doing what they're being coached to do. You got, like, remember we had the mutinies back in the day? They're like, look, what you talking about ain't working. If you had veteran guys at guard, that could really be an option, because they were like, this outside hand stuff, this for the birds. No, I'm gonna shoot my hands, and if you don't play me, you just don't play me. But I'm gonna do. You got me out here looking bad, and that ain't gonna happen. So if you had veteran guys that had some tenure and some gumption about themselves, that I ain't gonna say just be straight up disrespectful to the coach, but know what you teaching ain't working, they jump in there and do their own thing. And at least if their own thing don't work, okay, we done tried something different. Maybe I ain't the guy then. Your way ain't working for me. My way ain't working for me. Put somebody else in there and see what they do.
Yeah,
but that's what that is. All right, did we hit everybody on question 4?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's